So here's a short story that you guys are definitely going to find entertaining about a boyfriend that handles things like a boss upon finding out that his girlfriend had cheated on him like 3 years ago on a girls' night. This guy here, instead of dumping her right away, you're going to see how he has some fun with her, some mental gymnastics, if you will, to teach her a lesson. And then, of course, it's pretty obvious what happens next. Title: I've got my revenge on my cheating girlfriend, and I still don't think I can forgive her. He says here, a lot of background here. I'm 25 years old, and my girlfriend is also 25. We had a period for about a year and a bit into our relationship where every second weekend, for a few months, it was girls' nights for her, where she'd go out with her friends, and sometimes she'd message me with pictures, and sometimes I wouldn't hear back from her until the next morning when she crashed at one of her friends' houses. I brought up a few times I didn't like being in the dark about her nights out, but she told me that I should just trust her. Yeah, famous last words. I really didn't like this, but it didn't matter. But at the end, as she decided to cut herself off from the friend group and cut back on the drinking, and our relationship continued on. And whenever I asked about those friends, she said that the girls' nights weren't fair to me, and she wanted to spend time to focus on us. And so the weekends turned into board game nights, movie nights, and nights of experimentation, etc. Experimentation. So notice how just out of nowhere, she immediately stopped the girls' nights. Gee, I wonder why. And by the way, if he wasn't happy about her doing those girls' nights, not telling him where she was and all those things, he shouldn't have tolerated that. Well, fast forward 3 years to about a month ago, my girl and I were drinking for the first time in ages, and I was egging her on to do shots with me because I always thought that she was cute when she'd get tipsy, but instead, she just looked sad, and after a while, she broke down into tears. It took a long while of consoling her to get her to respond, to which she said she wanted to talk to her sister first, and if I could give her a bit. So, she's one of those, huh? She starts drinking and gets emotional. But, I gotta say this, quick interruption. I'm sure some of you guys have experienced this. When a girl wants to confess something to you, and she puts on the waterworks, and it takes her 10 minutes to get it out because she's sobbing and carrying on, let me tell you something right now. It's a big freaking show for you to have sympathy for her and feel bad for her to cushion the blow what she's about to tell you. Don't fall for it. Just spit it out. Tell me I know something's going on. Well, I honestly had no idea what this was all about. I thought it was some family drama until she came back and told me the truth, since apparently it had been eating her alive for 3 years. On the last girls' night, she had cheated on me. Eating her alive, huh? Yeah, you can tell. For 3 whole years, she kept it quiet. She begged me to forgive her, and when I asked her what she meant by cheating, she begged me not to ask for details, as it would make things worse. What is she, 4 years old? Oh, no. You're going to tell me all the details. You can get your tiny little butt out of here, honey. Well, my heart sank because hearing that made it clear it most likely wasn't just a kiss. No, it wasn't just a kiss, my man. I told her it was stupid to half confess, then expect me to forgive her, and she was just inconsolable at that point. So after about 10 minutes of trying to get her to spit it out about what she had done, she denied me any details. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. She's like, bitch, fucking talk. I know you're putting on a show. Cut the theatrics. Talk. And you're going to give me details, or you're out of here. Even though she's out of there anyway. I told her, if you didn't tell me what you did right now, I'm walking out that door and you will never see me again. Which made her freak out so loud, I was afraid that the police would stop by. So I started to go for the door where she stopped me. She confessed that she had slept with 2 men that her friends had met that night. 2 men at the same night? 2 men at the same time? Or 2 men throughout the night? She tried to hug me in an effort to stop me from leaving, but I kept her at arm's distance, and I couldn't even think of what to ask. My life felt like, as it felt so unraveled. I told her, go to bed and we'll talk about this in the morning. And I planned to leave, but she ended up holding on to me and begging me to stay the night. Yeah, she wasn't going to let go because she knew he'd be out of there. I don't know, guys. If my girl told me that she cheated on me 3 years ago with 2 dudes in one night, I would not be staying there that night. I don't care what she did. Well, the whole night, I just stewed in my anger as she whimpered into my chest before falling asleep. By the morning, she looked like a corpse. All the life was drained out of her face. I asked her to explain what happened in detail, and if I find out anything down the line that she skipped a detail or obscured something, I would never forgive her. Well, way to lay down the law here, but honestly, she had just walked out. Well, she essentially explained to me that two guys were hanging around the group with them and buying everyone drinks, and she was insecure that they weren't giving her any attention. So when they finally started talking to her, she felt validated. She left with them to the party after the night out, and that is where they hooked up. You heard that? They weren't paying attention to her, and it was driving her insecurities, which made her want them more. And when they finally paid attention to her, she's like, "I'll spread them for you boys." The speech sounded like a culmination of 3 years of reflection on that night. The first question at the top of my mind was, so both at the same time? To which she said, yes. And that made my skin crawl. She's getting spit roasted by Chad and Tyrone. Yeah, she's great girlfriend material. Get the fuck out. I then asked if she had contact with them, to which she responded that she doesn't even know their names. I asked if she got an STD test, to which she looked like a bit annoyed at me, and then immediately dropped the face and said yes, and they wore protection. Oh, well, they were gentlemen wearing protection. How nice of them. I'd ask on top of that if she did the STD test, and it was a negative, to which she said yes. I then started looking for reasons. Were you on drugs? Were you forced? Did they threaten you? All no's from her. I asked her why. She said she has no idea. She just didn't care at the time, and once they finished, she knew she effed up. Yeah, how convenient that after they got done plowing her, spit roasting, you can all imagine the logistics and all that. Then all of a sudden it's like, oops, I fucked up. Now I can feel bad for 3 years. I asked her if this is the only time, and she said yes. But then she added she kissed another guy as well when she was out, but had very little recollection of it. Another one. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I have a hard time believing the last 3 years this is it. I then went into detail about how long before the SCX was the kiss. Why didn't she stop going out after the kiss? She didn't have a good answer for that and just started apologizing, saying that she isn't like that anymore and she doesn't want to lose me. Honey, you lost me a long time ago. I told her there that I wanted to break up, which made her freak out and began pleading that we can work things out. How would she feel if the situation was reversed? Would she be enthusiastic to work things out? We had a back and forth about how I think that everything we've done is fake, since the woman I've been dating is this guilt-ridden persona of herself, and I would have broken up with her had she been honest with me. She said that night was the night that made her realize that she loved me more than anything in the world and didn't want to lose me. I then asked her if she would forgive herself, and she said yes very quickly. Oh, how nice of her. She would forgive herself. Okay. Now here is where we get to the mental gymnastics part that you all have been waiting for. I told her if she was home every other weekend, wondering if I'm out with friends or having you-know-what with some stranger, then I came home and apologized, she would forgive me. She said if I was honest about it and wouldn't do it again, then yes, she would. What a steaming pile of crap. There's no way. How convenient of her to say this. But he's like, okay, let's test this. I said to her that she's full of crap, but she stood by it, saying that it's honestly how she felt. So I ended up calling her bluff and told her, okay, every second weekend going forward, I'm going out, and you won't hear back from me until the weekend is over, and you'll just have to trust I'm not having SCX with other people. Make her wonder. There you go. Now this is funny, and we know what he's going to do here. It's obvious. He should have broken up with her, moved on. But then again, she deserves a little punishment here. I actually said that word. Let's see if the video gets flagged. I could tell that she wanted to say no, but she'd already locked herself in, so we went back to our normal lives. I was obviously cold to her at first, but she put on a brave face, thinking we were making it through this. Well, she thought wrong. The weekend came, and I said I'm going out, and she looked like a ghost, but didn't stop me. I assumed she thought I was bluffing, which I suppose I was. I went to my friend's house who knew about the whole situation, and we just binge watched TV shows, had a few drinks, and I ignored all her messages during that time. And when I came home, she gave me a big hug and a kiss and looked like she was trying to see my night through my eyes, but I gave her nothing. That is funny. He's gone the whole weekend hanging out with his bro, binge watching, hanging out, all that. She's messaging him left and right. He's ignoring her. He's treating her exactly the way she treated him. And she's imagining all these things. I think it's funny. Well, this became a routine, and she was walking around like a zombie 24/7, and I thought about giving up the ruse a few times because I saw the woman I loved for a brief moment, but then the thought of her cheating on me would always pull me back to this vengeful state. So he was doing this for a while. My friend told me what I'm doing is evil, and I should just dump her if I can't forgive her. To which I agreed. I'm not getting a kick out of seeing her dying inside. It honestly makes me feel awful because I know what a great loyal girlfriend she would be now, but I just can't love her anymore. Smack! You're doing everything right up until that point. Well, sort of. I would have dumped her, but this is pretty funny. No, she's not going to be a loving, loyal girlfriend. I mean, I just don't buy the whole, I made a mistake, it'll never happen again. She lied for 3 years. And she was right, he would have dumped her if he found out. But I got no problem with having some payback, but now it's time to cut her loose and move on. Well, I need to tell her now that there is nothing we can do to fix this, and I can't move past what she did. But I'm worried about the fall of the situation that I put her through. And that is the abrupt ending to his mental gymnastics story and all that. But the point is, I didn't see anything in addition to that, but I'm pretty darn sure that she's toast after this because you can't have a relationship without trust. But I think it's pretty darn funny him messing with her. She deserved that. You know? And she said, hey, I'd forgive you if he did the same thing. And actually, he didn't do anything, but he was having some fun with her. So anyway, guys, there's a lesson once again about the girls' night and how you got to pay attention and you got to lay down the law about that type of thing and how they'll hide things for years. Now, one has to question, why did she suddenly bring it up? I mean, if she was feeling guilty about it, that's nice. There's some redeeming features about her. But the question is, why did she do it? We can all speculate there. So anyhow, guys, you get something like that. As funny as it is to play some games, mental gymnastics, because frankly, he's teaching her a lesson, best is to break up with them on the spot. But I'm older. I don't like drama, so there you go. But anyhow, pretty funny one.